So what does Kujo Sara's name actually mean? What's the difference between Yae Miko and Guji Yae? In this video, I'm going to go through each of the playable characters from the region of Inazuma in the amazing world of Genshin Impact. So let's start with the region itself. The first kanji in the word Inazuma reads as ine, meaning rice plant, and the second kanji reads as tsuma, meaning wife. But when these two kanji are put together, it reads as Inazuma, meaning lightning. So if these two kanji put together read as wife of rice plants, what's that got to do with lightning? The original kanji used was this one, which means husband, which nowadays reads as otto, but used to be read also as tsuma. So at first, Inazuma didn't mean the wife of rice plants, but the husband of rice plants. So why was that? It's because lightning was thought to impregnate the rice plants. Now what do I mean? In the past, it was observed that after a year of plentiful thunderstorms, that there would be a bountiful harvest of rice, leading to the belief that when a lightning strikes a field, it impregnates the rice, allowing it to bear offspring, i.e. rice. Which kind of makes sense, because if you have a year full of thunderstorms, then that would also mean you'd have a lot of rain, sunshine, the temperature would be right, and these kind of conditions coincide with a bountiful harvest and the conditions necessary for lightning. Kaedehara Kazuha. The first kanji reading Kaede means maple tree. The second kanji, hara, means field or plain. The next kanji reads as man, meaning 1000. And the last kanji is ha, usually read as happa to mean leaf. So Kaedehara Kazuha means maple field, 1000 leaves. Yoimiya. The first kanji in Yoimiya's name reads as late evening or early night, and the second kanji, miya, is traditionally read as a shrine, but can also be an imperial palace. So these two kanji put together read as festival eve, because the shrine part is in reference to the festival being held at the shrine the next day. Kamisato Ayaka and Kamisato Ayato. The first kanji reads as kami, meaning god or divine being, lowercase g. The second kanji, sato, reads as home or home village. The next kanji reading as aya means weave. And in Ayaka's case, the ka part reads as hana, meaning flower or blossom, although this is a rather uncommon version of the hana kanji. In Ayato's case, the last kanji in his name reads as hito, meaning man, person, or human. So Kamisato Ayaka reads as divine home woven flower, and Kamisato Ayato reads as divine home woven man. Raiden Shogun. The first kanji in Raiden Shogun's name reads as kaminari, meaning thunder. The second kanji usually reads as den, meaning electricity, but can also be read as Inazuma, which also means the same as the previous Inazuma, meaning lightning. Shogun means feudal warlord or military commander, military general. So Raiden Shogun literally means feudal warlord of thunder and lightning. Raiden Shogun. The kanji for A is typically read as kage, meaning shadow. And I think this is from the word kagemusha, meaning body double, as she was kind of a body double for her sister Makoto. But it could also mean like she feels like she is a shadow of her sister Makoto. Speaking of Makoto, Makoto has this kanji, which means truth, although it is a rather uncommon version of the kanji. For the same word, we usually use this kanji or this kanji, which both mean truth. Yae Miko. The first kanji in Yae Miko's name is hachi, meaning 8. The second kanji by itself is usually in the adjective meaning omoi, to mean heavy, although it can be read as e as a counter for anything that is a layer or a fold, i.e. sevenfold. So like as we say sevenfold in English, they say eightfold in Japanese. The third kanji, Miko, is the same kanji from before, meaning god or divine being. And the last kanji, Ko, means child, although it can also be the first kanji in the traditional Chinese zodiac, meaning the year of the rat or the sign of the rat. But in this case, I'm pretty sure it means Ko, as in divine child. So literally, Yae Miko's name means multi-layered child of God, probably in reference on how hard it is to get a read on her and how secretive she is. So how about Guji Yae? The kanji for Guji reads as miya, which as I mentioned before reads as shrine or even imperial residence. The second kanji reads as tsukasa, meaning official or administer. So Guji isn't actually a name in itself, it's actually a title meaning shrine administrator or shrine official, shrine chief. Sangonomiya Kokomi. The first two kanji read as sango, meaning coral. The second kanji, miya, as I stated before, means shrine or imperial residence. In between these two kanji there is a hidden no, and sometimes this hidden no is included or omitted depending on the case, such as in Sannomiya, it sometimes has the no and sometimes it doesn't. Typically before the miya kanji, but not always. The next kanji reads as kokoro, meaning heart, spirit, mind or soul. And the last kanji reads as umi, meaning sea, ocean or great water. So Sangonomiya Kokomi's name means coral shrine, soul waters or spirit waters. Arataki Itto. The first kanji in Arataki Itto's name reads as arai, meaning rough. The next kanji is taki, meaning waterfall. The last two kanji read as Itto, which is a Japanese imperial unit of volume, roughly equivalent to 18 liters. So Arataki Itto's name reads as Raging Waterfall 18 liters. Sayu. The first kanji in Sayu's name reads as hayai, meaning quick, fast or early, and the second kanji reads as yuzu, which means citron. It's also the first kanji in the yuzu, as in yuzu lemon. Why do both yuzu and yuzu both read yuzu even though the kanji are different? It's Japanese, sometimes it happens, don't worry about it. So Sayu's name means quick citron, Thoma. Thoma doesn't have any kanji in his name, and that's because he was born in Mondstadt to a Mondstadt mother and an Inazuman father, Goro. Goro could possibly have had the kanji Goro, which is a somewhat common name in Japan, but as it stands, his name is completely in katakana. I was reading on this site here as for why people think that it might not have any kanji, and this one person says maybe it's because he's not fully human. However, neither is Kirara or Yae Miko or Arataki Itto, and they still have kanji. So I don't think it's that. Another person here says maybe it's because he can't write, which is possible, plausible, but I'm not all too convinced. This last one here says maybe it's because he's being treated as a pet, and pet names in Japan are typically written in katakana even if the name itself is actually Japanese. Either way though, there has been no definitive reason confirmed. Kujo Sara. The first kanji in Kujo Sara's name reads as kyu, which means 9. The second kanji reads as jo, meaning article or clause, as in an article in a contract, not an article in a newspaper. However, put together reading Kujo, this is actually an area in Osaka, so I think it might be a reference to that, although I'm not sure. The next kanji, sa, this means a Buddhist surplice. A surplice is kind of like a religious gown or apron type of garment. The next kanji reads as usumono, meaning thin, lightweight fabric, thin silk, or a silk gauze. So her full name means 9th article, silk surplice, which fits quite well into her design, so that checks out. Shikanoin Heizo. The first kanji in Shikanoin Heizo's name is shika, meaning deer, as in shika deer. The next kanji is no, or ya, meaning plain, field, or wild. The third kanji reads as in, meaning institution or house, as in a house of parliament, not a house you live in. The next kanji reads as hira, or taira. This means either flat, although it's often used in the word kohei to mean fair. Like if the scales balance out and they are flat, it means they are fair on each side. The last kanji reads as kura, meaning storehouse or warehouse. Shikanoin Heizo's full name means Institution of Deerfields Fair House, I guess. Kirara. The first kanji in Kirara's name reads as kanhata, although the onyomi is ki. Ki means thin twilled silk fabric, but it's most commonly used in the word kirei, meaning beautiful. Also, if used in conjunction with the second kanji in Sara's name, it means fine, as in fine clothes. And if you add a star to the end of that, it means glittering stars, glittering or beautiful stars. The next kanji reads as ryo or yoi, meaning good. And this second part next to it basically duplicates or like doubles the kanji before it, so it means like good. So Kirara's name means something along the lines of beauty of incredible goodness. Kuki Shinobu. The first kanji in Kuki Shinobu's name reads as hisa or hisashi. This means like old times or long time. It's often used in the greeting hisashiburi, meaning a long time no see, or if used as an adverb, it means to do something for the first time in a long time. Such as hisashiburi ni pizza wo tabemashita. I ate pizza for the first time in a while. The second kanji reads as chimata, meaning a fork, as in like a fork in the road. Although nowadays it's only ever really used in the context of saying Gifu, which is an area in Japan, Gifu Prefecture, more than anything else. Shinobu. Shinobu by itself means to conceal, but if used in conjunction with another verb, like such as shinobikomu, this means like to infiltrate. Shinobi, the noun version of that, is actually another name for what we call a ninja, which also shares the same kanji. So Kuki Shinobu's name really means something along the lines of ninja of the forks of old time. Chiori. The first kanji by itself reads as sen, meaning 1000. You might have heard that in the name Sen and Chihiro from Spirited Away. The second kanji reads as ori, which means to weave. This is different to the previous kanji in Ayato and Ayaka's name, although they mean the same thing, but they're just a little bit different. They still look similar though, in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of these transliterations make absolutely no sense whatsoever, although I would argue that if you try to do the same thing with English names, you'd come across the same kind of thing. It's probably just the case that the developers chose the names first and then kind of semi-randomly chose kanji to fit the sounding. Either way, I thought it would be interesting to go through each of the names and each of the kanji to just really satisfy my own curiosity for what the names actually mean. And hopefully you found this interesting too. So until next time, see you in the next video.